Leo.
Hello everyone, I have an announcement to make before we get on with this month's forecast, and we have some exciting news. We've developed what we call the audioscopes, and this is coming in addition to what you get here on YouTube. There are YouTube videos outlined what you can expect and when, outlines the dates and so forth. The audioscopes though, they go a little bit deeper into the material and what you can expect emotionally, spiritually, and how to roll with the energies and the influences coming in the current months. So you can check it out for your convenience. I'm putting down the link right here and also down in the description area so that you can find it there on the home page. Now these audioscopes run approximately 15 minutes. This is your August forecast for 2013, and we have a month that's going to be a little bit of everything. So it's not just going to be a beautiful flying flight, so to speak. There's going to be a few challenges, but this is why we do the forecast looking at the dates so you know what's coming up and when. And some of you will already pretty much know that something is percolating, okay? And when you know that this is kind of coming, then, and knowing the dates, it helps you to take action upon it before, you know, the challenge really kind of like explodes. So, but first, top of the month here, Leo, we have you in a situation where something seems to kind of go down the healing path. And if you're a female, I see that this is coming from a male. We have this Chiron energy going in, and it's like whatever the challenge has been in the past, it's like making amends now, where you can find a new level of harmony and a more mature level of harmony in whatever that conflict was. For you, this is coming out of your 12th house, so it might be from a source or a male that hasn't been too present here lately, coming back in. And I see you, your Venus right here is, of course, it's you, and it's all about what you feel, how the situation has been triggering your sense of self, your values, and not, you know, what has been to you unacceptable, feeling that it's taken some dignity, that 8th house dignity, you know, so it's kind of been, what should I say, brushing you the wrong way. But at least now you can talk about it, and it is a great time here on the 1st and the 2nd, because on the 2nd, Venus and Mars, they're kind of hand in hand here in a harmonious aspect, meaning that there won't be issues as far as like clashing or where the one or the other will jump into a defense, because then we lose communication and then we got this argument going and it does nothing. We never heal anything under an argument. But this is more like something old which has been argued now coming in, and you can actually feel that there is a great sense of communication, understanding, listening, hearing both sides of this. So good for you. Look forward to it, and you will feel that whatever was ruffled on your self-worth in the past, that's coming up. You're going to be able to lift that sense of dignity. Then we have on the 4th a great unexpected surprise coming from your 9th house, 1st house, so coming to you, but it may be coming from afar. Whatever that surprise is, it could just be news. It doesn't have to be a physical thing. But it's good news, something that you're going to be happy for. Then we have the new moon and the sun here in your 1st house, and that's why I want to say happy birthday, Leos. This is your birthday month, and this is also why you're having the sun here in the ascendant in your rising sign. And it's always great to have our sun there in the 1st house because we present ourselves differently. We come out, we radiate differently. The sun is shining, right? So having the sun or Venus in the 1st house is always a nice transit to have. But the 1st house here, with this new moon, when we plant our seeds, do our vision board, right now it's more like you are thriving here. You love being in your birthday month because you radiate. And you know, you've had a lot to do lately Leos, you know, you've been not just running, but you've had so much on your plate that it's been hard for you to really catch up with self. And the first house is all about self. And having the new moon here is more like reminding you that it is good to take time off for self and how you want to present yourself outwardly to others. This is the affirmation for this month, that I choose to now be conscious and aware that I'm going to make more space for that, how I present myself out to the world. It might also be you going out, getting something new to wear, a new hairstyle or something that the first house also represents. It's how you present. Then we have here the situation. Here we come to these little ruffled days, 7th and 8th. Jupiter is going to be opposing Pluto, and for you it's between the 6th and the 12th house. So Jupiter is what you believe. It's your convictions, your faith, so to speak. And Jupiter right now has moved into the 12th house. You have been expanding so much time out within groups, you know, socially. All last year, you know, you've been taking on more and more and feeling that you could do it because you had all this extra energy. That's what Jupiter does. It blows up, you know, that area. So you were able to take it, but not now. Jupiter has just moved into your 12th house here at just the last month here. And so for you, it's like you're pulling within. You're needing time more inwardly now. Just as much as you've been outwardly, you want to kind of expand your inner world, your spirit, and have time for meditation and maybe sparring yourself a little bit. Those spiritual inner treatments is what your spirit is longing for. So you may be pulling back and out from certain groups, not because you don't like them, but because you just can't do it right now. Now, this may create some reactions because Pluto on the opposite side of this has come to trust that you're there, lean on you. You know, you have enabled them to be the forerunner, the front runner. And now this Jupiter of yours has kind of gone into hiding here, and you're like, now what do we do? You know, so there's going to be a challenge, and you may not feel it's fair, so you're going to have a reaction to it. You know you've done a very good job, and you are in your right to pull back. So it's not like you're escaping, you're choosing to step away or step aside. But these reactions, yes, they will run through the 7th to the 11th. There's going to be talks. You might feel, and that could just be the personal feeling that you're getting, that you're being targeted because it feels unfair. And I see you kind of having to kind of rise to the occasion here to defend yourself, to defend your stance, you know, to stand up for your own inner sense of authority of what works, what doesn't work. And by the 14th, it looks like this situation from the 7th to 11th may find a resolution, a resolve that's going to work. And whether that is you finding out that resolve, or maybe they will, but you will at least know about it on the 14th. That is going to set you free a little bit from that situation until we come a little bit further down into the month. But Venus is going to move into Libra on the 16th, and for you that's going to be into the 3rd house. So out of your financial house, you're working on your finances this month. You did last month as well, but that's kind of wrapping itself up, and not just your finances, but how you have been really focusing on your self-worth, what you want to do, what you no longer want to do anymore, finding that perfect balance. Now that's moving into the house of communication on the 16th, and will be with you for a while. And I see you just feeling really good about these choices that you've made. It's liberated, freed up your energy. I see you feeling a little bit more optimistic now, that there can be more time to kind of step back and gain a perspective and make choices of wanting to go out and do those things that you want to do, rather than those things you were pushed or forced to or expected to do. So it's out of that other people's sense of expectations more now to start making your own expectations. That's a totally different balance. So you're going to love that. It's really nice. Then we have another challenge, the 20th and 21st, Jupiter and Uranus. That thing that was spoken about on the 14th, that resolution or that kind of whatever came in to kind of save that crisis on the 11th, which sounded really good. Well, here's the thing. It's going to be looked at and go, but can we do it that way? Because now, in the meanwhile, something else has come into play. And you're feeling like they're trying to draw you back in to fix something. But it's not really your responsibility no more, whatever that is. So I see you kind of like standing your ground here still, but carrying it because there's still some push. That Venus that was so happy to come into this third house of now expressing, you know, all these lovable, happy things, this new freedom that you have kind of opened for yourself is going to square Pluto. And then you're going to think, well, here we go again. You know, so that sense of self and self-worth, that is going to be squared, and it is between your third house and sixth house now. So once again, it's not really as much about you, Leo, as it is about co-workers or other people. It's like I get a feeling they're a little lost when you're not there, not guiding them. They've become so overly reliant on you that when you took the crutch away, it's like they all just fell down, right? But they have to find their own strength and get back up on their own feet. So there's a fine balance of helping, assisting them, and enabling. Be careful, do not enable again. You're so used to doing that because you have that energy and you've loved doing what you've been doing. Okay, and then we have another little situation, money, also there on the 24th. Might be a little challenge. You gotta look into something. I see that working out, so that's pretty good. But then on the 25th, there's a miscommunication, Mercury and Neptune. And I always like to keep my readings light and happy and, you know, exciting, that we can look forward to the good stuff. But we can't close our eyes to, you know, when things show up like this. So, and this is also what the forecast is about. So you're forewarned. It's not going to be a long, lingering, thank God, situation. But on the 25th, 26th, and 27th, these days are going to be tied in together because of one situation that started with a miscommunication on the 25th, where something is being said either from you or something you've heard from somebody else, and then you take it, you know, at face value. Then it's going to turn around and show that no, that's not what was said. This is what was said. But then some action already seemingly seems to have come out and been taken action upon, set into motion, and then here on the 27th, it's like got to rearrange that, reschedule or rearrange. But you'll have a good talk and figure this out in a very sound way on the 26th, when Mercury and Saturn, in the middle of all of this, thank God, Mercury and Saturn is going to be very friendly to one another. And it kind of shows that you're going to be consciously thinking of what you're saying. For you, this area, Mercury and Saturn, will be between, excuse me, it's in Leo, yes. So Mercury, it will be between your first and seventh house. So it is with perhaps a partner, a one-on-one partnership. It could be your significant other or somebody that you work closely with. So in that, I see you working it out. So it's not going to be that big of a deal. It's just going to give a little extra oomph this month that one feels that one could have been without, of course. But then we have Mars moving out of your 12th house and over the horizon into your first house. And this is going to energize you here, Leo. And this is happening on the 28th. So the end of the month is coming in with lots of energy, where you will feel, you know, coming out of the 12th, where you've kind of felt that you've needed to re-energize. Well, it will just get you going here and be with you for a while. And the Sun and Saturn also, which is your first and fourth house, is you kind of standing your grounds, because the fourth house is home, family, it's your inner core, what you believe, your new strength that many of you Leos have been finding lately. You know, here, I'd say last year, especially the last 6 months, and now the sun coming in here, something's going to take place which is going to give you a little validation on that, yes, you're doing a great job on where you're at, because you're not just giving in for the sake of peace. You know, you're taking whatever challenges that are needed to, like earlier here in the month. In the past, you might have gone, oh, well, okay, you know, okay, and just smoothed over it, you know, but now it's like, no, I'm not owning that. You know, this is what you did, you know, and you're being graceful, but you're being in your own sense of authority and gentle, because you're being clear. And when that Mercury works in that sense, you can say the deepest things without hurting, because it still comes across in a sense of compassion and feeling. And you know, you Leos, you come from the heart. So anyway, this is pretty much what we have here. You got the full moon in your 7th house of partnerships and relationships this month. So that will be, of course, you know, highlighting this area for you. So, you know, that's the 20th, August 20th. So mark that on your chart, and the new moon on the 6th of August. Mark that on your chart. And looking forward to see you next month, Leo. And do go listen to your moon sign and rising sign. So take care for now. I'll see you soon.